Hey everyone, how's it going? So I just wanted to basically give a big thank you to pretty much everyone. I've had so many people reach out to Meg and I in regards to the previous video that I made, talking about that she was hospitalized. She was in intensive care for a period of time there. She had some health issues and couldn't figure out what was going wrong. But the doctors at UNC Chapel Hill, pardon me for that, been a trying time. But anyway, the doctors at UNC Chapel Hill, they figured out what was going wrong with her, and they got her on the road to recovery, and she's expected to make 100% recovery. Physical therapy is involved, stuff like that, but it was pretty trying. I know quite a few people reached out and said, we'd like to know what happened. It was a health issue. It wasn't an accident or anything like that. It was a health issue. But at this point, I just don't feel like discussing it. And, thank you for respecting that. But Meg is expected to make 100% recovery, so that's the important thing. She has to go through physical therapy and stuff like that. But anyway, I just figured I'd share that with you and thank everybody for their time and reaching out and the well wishes and whatnot. It's very much appreciated. So on to the video that I already made. Thank you. Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, after a long absence, I am now working on my Chevy Silverado 06, and I'm going to be upgrading the headlights. I had changed the headlight assemblies like earlier in the year. Could have even been the end of last year, I don't recall. But it's time to upgrade the actual bulbs. Living out in the country more now that living further out in the country now like I do, sometimes driving at night, it's hard to see. So it's like, you know what, may as well try to do something here to actually see a little bit better because there's really no street lights. So I decided to upgrade with a set of LEDs, high beams and low beams on my truck. So I figured, let me show you what's involved. These cat eye, they're called cat eye because of the design of the headlights. It reminds people of cat's eyes. It's probably one of the nicest looking trucks that I think that Chevy made with this front end design. Let me back up and show you that design headlight. To me, it's a very nice looking truck. Has very good lines in that, and a lot of people agree. They thought this was one of the best looking late model trucks that they had made. But anyway, changing headlight bulbs on these is super simple. Amazingly simple, actually. So I figured I'd show you that and show you what's actually involved. Now, the headlight bulbs that I got, I picked these up off of Amazon. They're by a company called Rim Thin. These bad boys right here. And what I'm going to do is, I'll put a link in the description to the headlights because there's two different styles. There's a 9005 and a 9006 style, whatever it is. But if you go and you just type in what your vehicle is, it gives you the right bulbs. I already changed them on the one side to make sure everything fit correctly. But let me show you on the passenger side what's actually involved. Like I said, super simple on these things. I wish every car was this easy. Unfortunately, they're not. Some cars, you got to take the bumper cover off. I think it's GMC Acadias and those. It's like a 2-hour ordeal to change a headlight bulb. How do you justify telling somebody you got to pay $200 to change a bulb? I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's true. What are you going to do? These, super simple. Let me show you what you got to do. All right, so you come out to the headlight here, and it's got this little funky thing, this little metal rod. Lift up, and you work this thing out. Now, a lot of times in the Northeast, you see there's some rust on. I wire wheeled this thing last year, or whenever it was that I changed the bulb. So I wire wheeled the rust off of it. But what happens is the rust gets stuck on there, and you can't get the darn thing to come free without breaking something. So that's the only downside to this. And I believe I had wiped this with some kind of oil or something, but over time it starts to rust up again. So with that out of the way, the headlight assembly just pops out. That's it. I mean, how simple is that? Super simple. So now you're just going to disconnect the actual connectors. And of course, me trying to film and hold the camera at the same time, it's not cooperating. And I'm right-handed, so makes it a little difficult. All right. There you go. Headlight assembly's out. Now, in all seriousness, what'd that take? 30 seconds? Super, super simple. Now, let's say you got to change the bulbs in the lower because it's got daytime running lights, which actually I do have to change them because I do have a daytime running light out. I think it's driver's side. I don't remember now. But let me show you how to take out the lower assembly. I realized that I already changed the bulb on the other side. Like I said, less than 30 seconds you have a headlight assembly out, so it's not that hard to take it out to change the lower bulb. Let me show you what you got to do. So to change the lower bulb, you got to get this housing out. Now my grill is actually broken here a little bit. But if you look down, kind of hard to see, but that is a tab. See that thing that's like a slightly ramped shape? Let me go get something that I could pry on it. Usually I just reach my hand down there, but I'm going to block everything if I do that. So let me get something so I can pry on it, unless I can... Yeah, okay, there we go. That's basically what you do. You push in on it because it's a latch. You push in on it with your finger like that, and then it'll release and the headlight assembly itself will come out. Actually, let me get my tripod and set it up, and you understand what I'm saying, and I'll show you how to get that piece out. Hold on 1 second. All right, so now I'm just going to use my hand here, push in on the tabs, and like I said, my grill is broken, but you know, it is what it is. Push in on the tab, and then the headlight assembly pops out. On this side, it has these little nubs that stick out to catch U-shaped grooves on the other side. So these here will catch in here and lock in place. So this way you know I have it in the right position. And very simple, you have a parking light bulb on the end. If you're taking it out, in all honesty, just get all new bulbs. Why not? Just get all new bulbs, just change them all. Thing is, I don't think I have any amber bulbs, but it's not an amber bulb I have a problem with. And in fact, I think I might have changed the amber bulbs when I had this thing apart. I might have changed them all, and I did have a high beam, or a daytime running light that blew out. So, but to change the daytime running light, it's pretty simple. Just go in here, and you have this locking tab. See that? You push it over, and then the bulb itself turns. All right. You can see that everything's getting discolored. So, I thought, like I said, I might have changed this. I don't remember. Hang on a second. Let me grab it with my other hand. Because I am a righty. So of course, trying to do this and film, it's not cooperating. And back on the tripod you go. All right, hopefully you can see this. And it comes out. Now, a lot of times too, you could see this. It actually started to burn the bulb where the contact terminal is. And what happens is the inside of the socket can get burned, but most of the time it's from the heat of the actual bulb itself. So let me just see. I believe I have bulbs somewhere. Let me look and see what I can find. Okay, so I didn't have any ambers like I thought I might have, but I'm pretty confident that I had replaced these things last year. I may not have replaced these, but I'm pretty confident I did. But whatever. I'm going to replace them anyway. You can put dielectric grease on it if you want to. I normally don't because in all honesty, with the heat from the bulb, it just melts away. And the connections themselves actually look pretty decent. It's just got discoloration on the plastic from the heat. So the bulb itself is just a plug-in. Get in line and that you can flip them over. It doesn't matter. They still work the same. Now, well, I'll tell you about that with the LED bulbs when we go to put those in. So basically, it's just put this back in place like I'm a little spastic today. I've been spastic all week for obvious reasons if you've seen my other video that I just put up. All right, so that's like that. And then going back together, you get that end kind of tucks in there. Those two kind of tuck into those little slots. Then that point should line up. Once it does, that's it. And that's locked in place. Super simple. So, now for the headlight bulbs. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Here we have the low beam, here we have the high beam. Okay, you got to be careful. See, that's a standard bulb. It's extra bright or whatever the heck they called those. You got to be careful. Some of these bulbs you can actually put in upside down with the aftermarkets. So, especially if you have a single bulb, sometimes you can put the bulb in upside down. So then, if you flicked high beam, low beam, you'd have low beam pointing up and high beam pointing down because you have it backwards. So just be mindful that you can install those upside down on certain setups. This one, I don't think you can. So here's high beam. The bulbs are good. I'm going to hold on to them. I do hold on to old bulbs. So there we go. Actually, let's see. Can we install these upside down? I don't think we can, but we might be able to. Yeah, see, the tabs don't line up. Yeah, see that? The tabs do not line up. So you can only install these one way. Now, here's the problem with aftermarket stuff, too. A lot of times, they fit like garbage. That one fits good. This one fits kind of meh. So, if you're super concerned about it, you could do something, but the wiring harness and everything else is going to hold it in place. I'm not overly concerned. So, we're going to lay this back down in place. Hook the high beam, high beam. Hook the low beam. And then you got to finagle it in place. Sometimes you got to wiggle it, jiggle it a little bit. Especially if your truck is a little bit older, sometimes, you know, it might have a little bit of damage somewhere. So depending on how stuff tucks in, it may not want to tuck in correctly. There's actual tabs at the bottom of the headlight that tuck into little slots down there. So you want to make sure that you have everything going in where it's supposed to. If you didn't, you wouldn't be able to get that bar back in. So we use the belly, push the headlight in. Got the belly there. Okay, so that's that. All right, looking good. Okay, so with that in place, like I said, I still got to take the support to change that bulb down there. But yeah, with that in place, let's just turn the lights on and see what we got. So we'll do low beam. Low beam's good. Parking lights are on. Try high beam. High beams are on. Perfect. Okay, just what I wanted. So now I'm going to just change that daytime running light. And that's going to be about it. Something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah, I did put these bulbs, this style bulb, the LED bulb, into the Ram. And a lot of you had said to me when I put the new headlight bulbs in it that I should have just upgraded to the LEDs. You're 100% right, I should have. I had never had LEDs in anything until that truck, and what a difference. I mean, amazing what a difference. So I'm very happy with it. I do have to adjust those headlights better though. They're not, it's actually weird because with the LEDs, it's more pronounced that they're out of alignment. Whereas with the other incandescent bulbs, whatever you want to call, or halogen bulbs, with that style, it wasn't as noticeable, maybe what I should say. But right now it's very noticeable, especially on low beam. It's like, wow, these things could be up a lot more than they are. So I might make a video tonight on adjusting those headlights and show you how to adjust headlights when you don't have like a flat surface or a garage to go to. Everybody's got to have a flat surface somewhere, even if you go into an empty parking lot in the middle of the night and do it. But I'll show you what you need to do. All right, so that's pretty much it. If you can, check out the other video that I posted, and it kind of explains what's been going on. just so you know. And that's about it. All right. Hope you got something out of that video. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. If you look down in the description, like I said, I will put a link through Amazon to these kind of bulbs. There's also a link to tools that I use every day that you can get on Amazon. I'm not asking you to buy anything, but if you, at least you give it a click, it helps me out because I want to progress forward. Just hit a real big stumbling block here for a while. So you'll understand if you watch the other video. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.